This is Paul Kelly for ESBR Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Tommy McCarthy. Back in Belfast, I believe you've been on holiday a wee bit there. As you said, some winter sun and stuff as well. Look at you rather than the grim weather out there. But yeah, back at the Ulster Hall, February 1st. What does this venue mean to you? And yeah, what's it going to be like to fight back in Belfast? Obviously after getting back to winning ways last time at the SSE.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to fight in your hometown, city centre, and Ulster Hall is a historical venue for boxing in this country. So it's great to get in there again. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. What's the plan now for 2025? You said there, talking to Mark Sidebottom from the BBC, that you do feel like you can go on and have another shot at the world title. You're 34 years old now. You also said you don't want to be around forever. So what does the ideal 2025 look like for you, Tommy?
So obviously fighting 1st of February, 8-rounder. Next one, I would like to get a title of some sort, and then once you get one of them titles, you're back in the mix, back in the rankings, and then hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be with the big boys again.
You mentioned the big boys there, like the cruiserweight division is kind of stacked, has quite a lot of eyeballs on it now. You've got the likes of Jai Opetaia, Gilberto Ramirez just beating a former foe of yours, Chris Smith, a few other big fighters there. Supposedly heard an interview that Badou Jack might be coming back as well in the not so distant future. Are they the names that you want to be throwing yourself in with? Those world title fights.
100%. All them guys get in, test myself, and mix it with the best. And my main thing is to get one of them big fights over in the Middle East. That's what I want to do. My mate CACACE done it, changed his life, so I'm looking to change mine in the same fashion.
And can you take inspiration from ANTO that he's gone and done this? Like, he was maybe struggling on smaller shows as well, maybe not as big a name, and then there he goes and knocks out Joe Cordina, and look at him now. Is that do you think that you can kind of look at that as inspiration and almost try and replicate that?
Yeah, big time. When ANTO came home from winning the title, and I says, I think I'm just going to pack it in. He's like, Tommy, you're stupid. All you need is one win and you're back in the mix. He says, look at me, I'm 35, and look what I have done. So I started training with him, and then, I've got the bit between my teeth, and ANTO, like I say, a lifelong friend. And to see what him doing it lets me know that I can do it, and it inspires me.
Absolutely. You've mentioned a couple of those champions there at cruiserweight. What do you make of the division as a whole? Did you watch Gilberto Ramirez and Chris Smith? Have you watched Jai Opetaia recently? He's obviously back in action in early 2025. What do you make of the division as a whole right now? Pretty stacked?
Yeah, they're all good. I didn't see Bill Smith's last fight, and Jai Opetaia, his class was over sparring with him last year in Australia. So everyone up there, there's no easy fights when you get to the world level, so everyone's good. But I know I'm good enough to mix it with them and beat them, so I want to get in the mix.
Absolutely. A lot of people had you beating Chris Smith, particularly in that first fight. A lot of people said, had you win in that fight, you didn't get the decision. So yeah, hopefully you do get these type of fights in 2025 and beyond. You mentioned there kind of like fighting for those world titles and stuff. Is that kind of what you want to achieve in the rest of your career? Is it a matter of either world title fights and make the most money as possible? Is that kind of how you're looking at it?
Yeah, I don't want to leave boxing without even challenging for a world title. I think it would be a travesty, and it would be, disrespectful to myself and my talent. I know I'm good enough. I should be up there. I should have been up there already. So I want to at least challenge for it, and then I'll be happy.
Do you look back at any of your recent fights with any regret or anything, that maybe you took fights on short notice that you perhaps didn't, like the Chev Clark one you took on short notice, the C-Slack fight for the European as well? Are they fights that, regret's maybe not the right word, but you kind of, if you could go back and do it again, you would maybe not throw yourself into the deep end, just maybe having not had full camps and stuff?
No, well, I regret that they came up at that time, but yeah, at both of them fights, one was in November before Christmas, so I need the money coming up to Christmas, and then the next one was like straight after Christmas. I was like, that'll get me my money back. So, people don't realize the fighters have families. I have a wife, 4 kids, so I need to make money, and I can't be saying no. Like if somebody phoned me right now and says, would you fight such and such in 3 weeks? If the money was right, I would say yes. It's regrettable that Irish fighters are in that position, and people say, oh, you have to stay in the gym and stay ready all the time, but there's a difference in being fit and being prepared. So that's why you have camps, so that you can prepare for a fight. Anyone could be fit. Anyone watching this, you could go to the gym every single day and be a fit person. But if you had to jump in and fight someone, you won't be prepared. So there's a difference in fitness and preparation, and it's just a thing with various fighters. You're always getting last minute phone calls, and it's just comes with the territory. But you can't regret it because I got paid.
Not keep you too much longer. So we are the last two officially at the today's press conference. I want to ask you as well about, you mentioned that you've shared a ring with Jai Opetaia in Sparring. What was that experience like for you? And did you know, being in the ring with him, that this guy's special, or is that or did you see stuff there, some chinks in the armor that you feel like you can maybe exploit?
So it was random the way it came about. Mark phoned me and says, "You're not going to believe this. They want you to come out and spar." And this was during the period where I was contemplating retiring. So I hadn't really been in the gym too much, but I'd never seen. I'd heard of him, but I hadn't seen him box. And then when I went out to spar with him, I was like, "Oh, this guy's the real deal." And he was world champion at the time, but he wasn't. He was still kind of under the radar. So I was singing this and saying, "This guy is the truth." And I've sparred with all the top names at my weight over the years, and Jay was the best. So it was no surprise to me when I seen like what he went on to do. So yeah, he's a very good fighter, and he's the #1 cruiserweight now. So if I can get in that position to fight him, it would be great.
Absolutely, fingers crossed. Just before coming back to yourself, Tommy, I do want to ask you about the heavyweight rematch we've got on December 21st between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. I'm sure you'll be watching. I'm not sure how you thought the first fight would go. Usyk obviously getting his hand raised, getting the job done. How do you see the rematch going?
I don't know. The first fight, I thought the early rounds it was all Fury. Fury was looking great, but Usyk has that like unbelievable engine, so he come on strong at the end. So I thought the fight you could without the knockdown they gave it to Usyk, but it was kind of like a 50-50. I thought it was a kind of like a draw. So it's another interesting fight. You don't know what way it's gonna go because Usyk showed that he can be hurt by Fury. Fury showed that he has to know how to beat him, but Usyk did hurt Fury, and so I don't know. It's just it's a toss-up.
Absolutely. And back to yourself, Tommy. As I mentioned, don't want to take up too much more of your time. February 1st at the Ulster Hall. You fought here before. I'm sure you fought here plenty of times over the years. What's it going to be like walking out in Belfast on February 1st at the iconic Ulster Hall? Now live and exclusive, obviously, on BBC Sport.
It's going to be very exciting. Looking forward to it. Great to be back in my home city. Friends and family be here and live on BBC as well. So I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, Tommy, I'll not take up any more of your time. Thanks very much for speaking to ESBR Boxing, and have a good Christmas.
Good man. Thank you.